If you've been watching my channel lately, I am pretty into using these repeatable methods in my journals. I find it's just really helpful so that I'm not spending a lot of time thinking about what to make and looking for stuff, and I can just sit down and make something when I have a few minutes. This one I call my Color Exploration Journal. It is a 4x6 size journal. And in some of my other videos, I've shown some of the pages that I've created in here. And I've also talked about this tray that I keep on my desk. I keep little bits and pieces of things in the same color family in these little compartments in this tray on my desk. So again, this is just doing a little bit of prep in advance to help my future self so that I can just get into creating instead of looking for stuff. I've got a few fun things here in this pink section. I signed up for a lovely monthly mail club on Instagram called Tinker Lab. That's where that nice pattern paper came from. And I just really love how this looks. Love that color. I don't use it very often, so I'm going to use it on this page and make that pink color the main color for my page. I'm pretty into ripping papers these days and not using scissors quite so much. I used to make very geometric shapes. If you look back at some of my earlier work, it's all pretty much geometric shapes with straight edges. So I like to lay in a few sort of background pieces on these pages just to give myself a bit of structure to work from. I'm kind of breaking my own rule here though, because as soon as I put that pink paper down, I remembered that I had this beautiful pink flower that I cut out of a magazine not too long ago, so I wanted to put that right down here. This page is already looking great, honestly, but I'm going to keep going with more pink stuff. I made this beautiful pink marbled paper when I was filming the 5 backgrounds video from a couple weeks back, and I have some left over. I made this just with water and acrylic ink. You can check out the video if you want to see how I made it. And I bought a whole pack of 20 sheets of this really pretty paper, and I have no idea what I'm going to do with it. I'll probably use it for putting it in gift bags and things like that, but I'm definitely going to use some of my collages. So I'm just ripping out just a really nice organic kind of a shape to fill in some of this space. And for this, I'm going to use good old Mod Podge. I love using the super matte version. It's a great glue or sealer. And just another tip from me, I love using wax paper to put products out on it when I'm painting something or gluing something or whatever. And I want this to be nice and flat, so I'm going to brush it with just a thin layer of Mod Podge on the back of the tissue. This is going to get harder to handle because it's tissue. So now that I'm wetting it, it's just going to become like, fine lace in my hands. So I'm also adding some of the Mod Podge to the paper, and that's really going to give me the best possibility of having like a flat lay of this tissue paper on my page. Let's see here. I think this works out pretty well. There's a few little wrinkles here and there, but I think it'll look really pretty. And it just looks like it's part of the page now. I love that. And you can still see a bit of both of those pink papers through the tissue paper. And that's really why I love using the translucent tissue papers in my artwork. Just going to finish it off with a little bit more Mod Podge and make sure I've got all the corners glued down. That is one thing I find with this stuff. I think I've got it all glued down, and then 2 seconds later, I realize that I haven't glued a whole piece of it down. So I'm just making sure I'm really going over it well here. I keep this old paintbrush just for this purpose. Just a few more things coming out now. I cut out some shapes from some scrapbook paper that I got in a pad of scrapbook paper at the dollar store. And I don't remember where this came from, but I think it was from a collage desk calendar that I bought a few years ago, and I kept some of the papers. Just a cute little rabbit. This washi tape also came from the dollar store. If you're in Canada, Dollarama has a great selection of art supplies these days. These stickers, I don't remember where I picked that up, but there's a nice little pink butterfly sticker. Just another square of some pattern paper that I had in my stash. Some of these things are coming out of my inspiration box. And I made some tickets on multicolored papers a while back, so that's where that came from. I have a small round punch that I just got, and I'm getting into using it, so that's where that little circle came from. I really like using washi tape to border some of my pages just to pull them together a little bit. So I had this roll of bright pink washi with a narrow white border on it. I'm just putting that down the side of the paper. Off camera, I drew a little branchy shape using a pink ballpoint pen, and then I looked at it and realized you can't really see it. So I'm just going over it with a nice magenta brush type marker to brighten that up a little bit. Using branch and tree motifs in my art is really my trademark, if I have one at all. You'll see that in about 90% of my art. So there is my finished piece. I really like how this turned out. What a gorgeous color. Thanks again to Tinker Lab for the inspiration. Thank you all for watching my video. I hope you got inspired to try a color exploration page of your own. And if you do, please let me know in the comments because I'd love to see it. Take care now.